mergers were my Nineveh, and I ran away from it. But I will also be honest with all of you and share that in the long run, it has been a fantastic voyage. I never saw myself pastoring what people might call a traditional church, which is why I pursued the path to plant a church. And so we did that. And so we worshiped at a Seventh-day Adventist church. That's where we started. We spent 4 years in a high school auditorium until we really focused in on obtaining our own property. My approach to properties is largely based upon the fact that I pastored for 8 years without one. Pastored 8 years without a monthly mortgage payment to make. Pastored 8 years without an insurance bill. Pastored 8 years without having to pay electricity, gas, and water. And I'll be honest, I absolutely loved it. But I also wanted some sense of stability, and the church wanted that as well. And so we finally had an opportunity to purchase a building. The building we purchased was absolutely we'll just say uninhabitable. We were in a situation, though, where the neighborhood did not want a church and did not want a church so badly that they bought us out, so that over 200% of the purchase price was paid back to us to not be there. Around that time, there was a sister church that was without a pastor. And so we were a brokenhearted church plant without a building. And this was, we could say, a brokenhearted church that did not have a pastor. And so we came together and became a brokenhearted merged congregation in their building. During that time, we just loved on each other, loved God, loved the community. And over time, we looked at what the ministry landscape looked like in Indianapolis and the kind of critical mass necessary in order to have a meaningful impact. And so we approached another congregation, a sister congregation, about the possibility of merging, and spent a year dating, where during that year we worshiped together twice per month. And the other senior pastor and I would swap preaching opportunities. And one of those unity services out of the month, we would worship at the sister congregation. One time out of the month, they would worship at our congregation. As we had those twice per month unity worship services, there was a steering committee formed that included all of the officers from both congregations, all of the stewards. You Methodists know about stewards, equivalent of a deacon in the Baptist tradition, let's say. All of the stewards, all of the trustees, and at-large committee members would get together weekly to tackle the difficult questions that had to be dealt with if these two congregations were going to come together. After a while, we began to hold joint official board meetings. Y'all Methodists know about the official board meeting. That's the monthly church business meeting. And the beauty of that was, though it was a joint meeting, it was a combined meeting of their business meeting and our business meeting. Whether you marry somebody or not, that decision is determined largely by you looking at their credit score while you're dating, looking at their checking account while you're dating. And so we had the opportunity to do that. And after a while, the congregations became tired of going between buildings in order to have these joint worship services. So we lengthened the amount of time that we worship together. So a whole month in one building, a whole month in the other. And so now we are grateful for not only having come together, but having come together, we have proven ourselves good partners.